come on in because we're on our last video for Ready to Love season 8. This is episode 8, and I've already done 2 other videos. This is my 3rd one. I did the video on Janelle and Herbert and Janelle and Quentin. I did a video on Jessica and Chris, and also Aries and Chris and Phil. And this is the last video we're going to talk about with Lee and Quentin, along with her friend a Muffin. I'm not even going to do no video on Sierra's date with Chris, with Maria and Herbert, because like my other video, I'm tired of lying Maria. He went on that date with Sierra acting as if he really is interested in Sierra. We know he's not, because last week he was saying she was in the friend zone, but now he's over here talking about he's husband material. Ugh, I can't do it anymore with Maria, so I'm not even covering that date at all. But I am going to talk about this date with Lee. Because once again, I was irritated by Lee. You know, Lee was my favorite in the beginning, y'all. I was rooting for her. But let me tell you, every week it gets worse. And here we are once again on another disastrous date with Lee, because Lee doesn't open up her mouth. Lee doesn't open up her mouth. She doesn't talk, but she does a whole lot of complaining about what everybody else says. How is it that the person who doesn't talk and who's the worst communicator on the show has a problem with what everybody else says? First of all, she was mad at Christopher back when she took him on that Levels date about how she felt he wasn't communicating with her. And he was like, I really was communicating with you. She was mad about that. Now she was mad. Then she got mad at our Quentin for what he said, but then she didn't open up her mouth on that either. She sat there all tie-tongued. And now here she is at this Meet the Friends date, and she let her friend a Muffin run her mouth the whole time, up there giving Quentin hugs, not really doing whatever she came there to do. And then once again, Lee doesn't open up her mouth there either, but she's mad at Muffin. Lee needs to stop. What does Lee do for a living? She's a wellness coach. Isn't that what she is? I know she's into fitness, so she must be an all-around wellness. She needs to get a dating coach. She needs to get a dating coach. She needs to get somebody that's going to help her with her communication, because it's horrible. And all she does is when she's mad about something, sits up there and pouts. She sits up there and pouts. I don't know what Lee thinks. Maybe Lee thinks everybody needs to be able to read her mind. Maybe Lee thinks that all she's got to do is walk in the room, look pretty with her nice fine body, and she ain't got to say nothing. Her body should say it all. And we all supposed to be able to read her mind. Then she needs to go date Maria. Since Maria is into the mystical, he's into tarot cards, reading minds, fortune tellers. Maybe she needs to go and date him, because Lee don't say a thing. You know, to come to think about it, maybe Lee needs to go out with Chris. Why haven't we seen any dates with Chris and Lee? Maybe they would be a good match, because Chris is over here complaining that Jessica talks too much. She's too loud. And we got Lee, the whisperer over here, that doesn't say anything ever. I'm thinking maybe Lee and Chris would be a good team. Oh, but you know what? As I think about it, no, they wouldn't. Because Lee was sitting up there on a Chris Alexo YouTube channel. She did a little interview with her. I watched that, and I also did a video on that too. Hope you caught that. And she said about Chris. She said Chris was she questions his leadership. On the Chris Alexo video, she said she at one time, maybe she liked Chris, I don't know, but she said she questioned his ability to lead. Like I said, Lee got a whole lot of criticism for everybody else's style of communication, whether they don't do enough of it, it's not good enough, it ain't this, it ain't that. But she's one of the worst communicators on this show. How is that? And I tell you what, I don't even know how Muffin is her friend. I don't know how Muffin is her friend, because let me tell you, Muffin was sitting up there when Quentin got ready to leave. When Quentin got ready to leave the house, and they were setting up, about to give Quentin a hug, Muffin got in front of Lee and said, no, let me give him a hug first. What kind of friend is that? And once again, did Lee open up her mouth? No, she didn't open up her mouth. She sat there with her tongue tied and her mouth shut. Lee is boring. Even her friend said, let me tell you, her friend was not no friend. Muffin was over there sitting, basically calling Lee a grandma. She said, oh, but she'd be a fine grandma. I don't care if she fine. I don't care what. Don't nobody want to be called a a grandma at the age of Lee. Lee only, what, about 32, 33 years old, and you got Muffin over there calling her a grandma, talking about she would be a fine grandma, but she don't like to have fun. She don't really like to get wild. She don't have no party in her. What kind of friend is that? You up here trying to look good from a man, but your friend calls you a grandma in front of that man. A Muffin ain't no friend. Muffin is the competition. And we know Quinn don't want no grandma around. He's over here trying to figure out, he wants to walk around the house naked. He wants to be spontaneous. When Janelle said the most wild thing she did was skinny dip in the ocean, he was like, that ain't nothing. And you think he's going to be turned on by Muffin saying that Lee's a grandma? Good Lord. Like I said, her best bet might be able to go over there to Chris. She talking about she don't know if he has the ability to lead. Who couldn't lead Lee? All you got to do is open up your mouth and you will be designated the leader. It don't take much to lead Lee because Lee don't talk. She does not talk at all. So therefore, you the leader, just because you open up your mouth, you're going to be the leader with her. But who cares? Because who knows what Quinn's doing? Quinn talking about he in the first year of entrepreneurship. That ain't nothing. Don't most businesses fail within the first 2 years? He ain't even out the danger zone. He talking about he gonna be married to he would get married to Janelle in 6 months. No, you ain't. Not if you in the first year of entrepreneurship. You ain't even got no steady job, no steady income, no steady business. For year one, please. You can't be taking on no other financial duties or responsibilities or debt like a whole wife and kids if all you are is in the first year of your whole business. What is Quentin talking about? Quentin over here playing this game, blowing smoke up people's butt. He about to cause a friendship to fall apart between Lee and Muffin. I don't know what Lee's gonna do after this show, but I'm gonna tell you this. She seemed like a nice young lady. She really does. She's beautiful, as we know. She got a nice body. But let me tell you, that's gonna run out. That runs out because I don't see no fun to Lee. I don't see no personality to Lee. She doesn't open up her mouth. She needs to go get some coaching of her own. I know she's a wellness coach. I know she's used to coaching other people. I know she was trying to coach Christopher on that date, talking about levels of dating. Then she needs some coaching on the levels of communication, because right now she on the basement, level 0, level 1. If there's anything she learns from this show this season, she needs to see herself on screen, see how poorly her communication was, and she needs to go get some help and some coaching on that. Anyway, that's it, y'all. Hope you watch my other videos. I'll talk to you later. Bye.